Okay, so what is your MMR right now?
Um, like 2100.
All right. What role do you play? Do you have a main role or do you just play?
Yeah, carry usually.
Okay, cool. So, what can I help you with? What exactly did you want to work on?
Um, Maybe just like getting my GPM up
All right.
a little, or
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think I tend to like uh over engage in team fights when maybe sometimes I should just be sitting in the lane like farming.
Okay. And maybe
What
and
do
do
you
you
think?
die from those decisions?
Um, Not always. Sometimes it's fruitful, but it still takes a lot of time out of the farming. When you're like running across the map or whatever.
Right. Like you're not sure when should you be farming, when should you be fighting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a specific replay that you think would be good for me to take a look at?
Um, you can watch the one that I just played with Faceless Void if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Am I able to like watch that with you?
Yeah, if you go on Discord, if you look at the call, I'm sharing my screens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you can see everything I see. Um all right, we can look at it. It's a bit of a stomp, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
One sec. My grandma's calling me.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Thanks for waiting.
No worries.
Okay, so let's look at this replay.
Your turn to ban.
All right.
Prepare for battle. Seconds to battle.
Thank you.
The battle begins.
Um I'm not really saying much because there isn't really much to say, but I do want to say that it doesn't seem like you were going for a lot of last hits under the tower. It seemed like you were just kind of like walking around.
I think I was just like missing them. I was trying.
Like I didn't see you go for them. Is there a reason for that? Like right there, you didn't go for it. You didn't go for that one. You went for that one. You didn't go for that one. Okay, you start going for them now. It's not really a huge.
Yeah, you're right. I might have been like looking at their heroes.
Right.
Like if
Damn,
Conker's
did you
coming
just
in
get the
for a
last hit
gank.
on the bear? Did you
I don't
just?
know. I don't think so. I think
No, you didn't. But that, man, that would have been pretty good. Alright.
I'll take that. Just what the doctor ordered.
Do you think that killing him there was good or bad?
I feel like it was good. I feel like
Right.
it's always good to get an easy kill.
I actually think that it was detrimental that you killed him there because I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to explain it. So, wait, I didn't go far back enough. Okay, so for starters, you have this big wave that's pushing, and by killing him, it messed up the creep wave more and pushed it even further. I mean, the wave was already kind of messed up in the first place, so killing him didn't make as much of a difference as it actually might have. But it's still like, look what happens when you kill them. When you kill him, like, look what happens to the lane is what I mean. The lane has
It's gonna be
two.
pushed up.
Yeah, it's being pushed out. So then what happens is, I mean, I guess killing him isn't necessarily bad, but it doesn't really do anything either. Like, I mean, it's the idea of what you guys did is bad. Like, if you go for that, if you do that, like in this particular case, it isn't as bad as it could have been. But let's say you pull, like, let's say you do that, and you pull the enemy creep wave with you, and then it like messes it up and it kind of dies. Then what's gonna happen is, like, he's gonna come back to life right here, and the creep wave's gonna be under his tower, and he just gets a free, like,
Free creep
a free creep wave, right? So
Yeah.
it would be more beneficial for you to keep the creep wave here and not get any kills than to kill him and have the creep wave end up here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So that's
So the gold and the XP that I got from killing him isn't as much as I would get if I just like farmed the creep wave back by my tower.
yeah, that's part of it. Like, it's more that you let him get something out of the lane, and that's not what you want. In this particular case, like, when you killed him, the lane didn't really change. He was already messed up. But the reason I'm just saying it is that in a lot of cases, that will mess up the lane when you go for something like that.
Okay.
Like, do you know what creep equilibrium is?
I'm guessing like they just cancel each other out, kind of.
Like, yeah, I mean, the creep waves by themselves cancel each other out, but I mean, so I'll just explain it. So creep equilibrium is basically the you know, how far away the creeps are from each tower, where they are relative to each tower, basically.
Okay.
And what you don't want is you don't want the creep equilibrium to be here. That's exactly where they want it, because then it's
Right.
harder for you to farm. I think you understand that, right? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
you probably
Yeah, I
understand
get that. Like
Right.
that's the same reason you don't like auto
I th-
attack creeps.
Right. I think you get that, but I don't. But what you may not know is how to prevent that. Because why don't we go back and see why the creeps
Okay.
went like that?
Well,
and we'll just-
shouldn't the support role be like pulling the creep wave and stuff to?
I mean, that's if it's messed up. You shouldn't mess it up in the
Okay.
first place.
Okay.
If it gets messed up because you went for a kill or something happened, then they should pull, and then then
Okay.
that's when they should pull. But if the creep wave is back here and they pull, then that's not good.
Yeah. Right.
So pulling is more of like a damage control thing in that case, and you probably just want to prevent the damage from being done in the first place, and you can do a lot to prevent that.
Okay.
And I'm
As a
gonna
carry.
right.
Okay.
The carry has there's a lot of ways you can control the equilibrium, and I'll explain how you can do that. But first, let's see exactly why the lane got messed up. I think we need to go even further back, like to the very beginning. Okay, so right here it's about even, right? Okay,
Okay.
so
So do you don't want your own tower hitting the creeps, though, right? Or,
if your own tower hits the creeps, it'll push it that way.
right.
You want it to be like
And it's
right
hard to get
here.
lost hits.
Yeah, you want it to be like right here, where exactly where it is, because that's where it normally ends up anyway. Like, it ends up right here because, you know, that's why it's called the off lane, because look at where the off laner has to be, really far away from his tower.
Right.
It's
Right.
pretty much the same on both lanes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you want to keep it right here, because then you can farm. You have your tower, and then your supports ideally want to be like over here, just like hitting them and just harassing them back,
Just
so they
zone
don't
them
get
out.
anything. What?
Yeah. Just zoning them out.
Right. so that you can free farm and keep the creep wave here. So let's see right here. It's actually very easy to keep it where it is. Like right here, there's no problems necessarily. You just want to auto attack one of these and kill it so that it's equal. Equal amount of creeps. And then what happens is you don't do that, and so what happens is because you didn't do that, because you didn't keep it
Pushes
equal,
to our tower.
it goes under your tower, and then that makes it push out over here.
I see. Okay.
And then you have a double wave, and then you go for that kill, which in that case I actually don't think that really affected it, but either way the lane pushes here and they get free waves.
Okay.
Like it's a
So,
chain
at all-
reaction.
I see. So at all times, like you're just trying to keep your wave and their wave the same.
Mm-hmm. Like you see how there's like, let's go back. Let's see here, like how you could have kept it the same. So right here, you're like right here. You should be a little closer up, I think. So you're fine. Never mind. Forget that. So right here, you should be auto attacking this one and killing it.
Okay.
In fact, right when the lane even started, I think you should have done a little bit of damage, because if you can see here, your range creep dies first.
Uh-huh.
Takes some damage. See, it's being attacked. He pushes it out. So in response to that, that's actually good what he just did. I don't think he understands why at all, but like as an offlaner, if you don't respond to that, then exactly what happens is going to happen. It's going to push under your tower, and then it's going to go back to his.
Okay.
But if you can control it just by doing the same thing, killing his range creep. You should have killed his range creep, definitely, yeah.
Okay, I see.
So, right after he killed yours, you should have killed his, and then you could just keep it. You just want to keep it equal, yeah. And it kind of takes practice, and after this, I can demonstrate doing it. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, of course, but I can kind of show you. Just so you have something to go off of. But yeah, see, then what
Okay.
happens is they have this full wave, and you have 2 creeps dead on your side. So yeah, I think
I
you
see.
understand.
So what about like getting denies? Should you not take as many denies as you can get?
No, you definitely should deny as much as you can.
Okay, doesn't that throw off like the equilibrium?
Well, then you just auto attack the enemy creep if you need to.
Okay,
You don't, you could just do whatever you need to do to keep it equal.
I see.
If your creeps are doing slightly more damage to the enemy creep wave, then you can auto attack your own creep a little bit too. And it works this other way around as well. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. Well, actually, I want to show you how the lane. See, so you have now this wave, and it's going to be a double wave. So now you have this double wave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, killing him didn't really do anything, but in this case, like it wasn't bad in this case, but I just wanted to explain that to you because in another game it may not go as well. Like most of the time when people go for those maneuvers, it ends up dragging the creeps and they get a free creep wave, but that happens anyway. So anyway, yeah, you get a triple range creep, push, and then
Just what the doctor ordered.
and then they just get this farm with no problem. It's not even as fucked up as it could be. That's the interesting part. It could be even worse, but it's actually not. But yeah, see how they're getting all this free farm? They shouldn't be getting anything.
Yeah.
Ideally, obviously. Ideally, they shouldn't be getting anything.
So I think like the problem that I'm gonna have is like playing at the bracket that I'm at. Like none of the players understand what you're telling me. you
Right.
know? So it's gonna be hard to like regulate. The
Right,
lane.
because the support's gonna just walk into the middle of the creep wave and drag it when they try to attack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So in those situations, so first thing is I think you should focus on doing it yourself first, like learning how to do it and being confident that you can control the creep wave and know where you want it to be. Then, if it gets messed up, know how to fix it. And
Okay.
if your supports mess it up, just explain to them either. So first start just by explaining it to them, like, hey, don't do that. It messes up the creep wave. If you're going to harass them, don't be close to the creep wave. Can you please pull?
Okay.
And then if they
Yeah.
don't listen, just tell them to leave your lane.
Okay.
Because it's better if your lane is here and it's 1v2 than if it's here and it's 2v2.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do
Okay.
personally. I would just tell them to leave.
Okay.
So yeah. As long as you
So in-
communicate.
Yeah. In theory, you should be able to just keep it right next to your tower
Yeah.
the entire game if you're good
I mean,
at this.
Yes, definitely. I think that if you can master creep equilibrium, it'll put you like, I'm not even kidding, like at least 500 MMR. Like you'll just get 500 MMR.
Really?
Unless, yeah, I think so. People in my bracket still don't even do that. And I mean, unless you're like fucking up the mid and late game super hard and feeding, but like that, you'll you'll at least win the lane a lot. You'll win the lane a lot if
Yeah.
you can master that.
Yeah, and you won't get ganked nearly as much.
Right. And that, like, when I do that, I did that in one of my games recently. It was it was me versus a solo offlaner. I was level, I think I was level 8 and he was level 4,
Damn.
something like that. Or I was
Yeah.
level 7 and he was level 4. I don't know if it was that crazy, but it was
Jeez.
definitely like 3 levels above. Just because I kept it here, he couldn't walk up here and get XP.
Yeah.
As you know, so that's how important it is. You know, you can just destroy your lane.
Okay.
So let's keep going.
Bounty.
I'll go to your player perspective. All right. So this is okay, yeah. Position 4 Kunkka. Okay.
What is that? Like, I always hear people say that, and I don't understand the position.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I can
Position
explain that
that.
to you. So what it really means, what it boils down to is farm priority. Position 1 gets the
Okay.
most, position 5 gets the least, and it kind of goes in a descending order,
see.
you know? And
Okay.
so typically the position 1 is the carry, which is what you're playing, the role you're playing in this game.
Right.
Position 2 is mid, so the sniper.
Okay.
Although position 1 and 2 can be mixed up a lot. Like you could put like a face, like if you were playing Faceless Void and and it was an Invoker mid, I don't think you'd be position 1. I think you'd be 2. I think Invoker would be 1. But I don't want to make things
Okay.
too complicated. I'll just explain the rest of the roles. Off lane would be 3, and roamer or semi support would be 4, and hard support would be 5.
Okay.
So that's the roles. So like for you, you'd be a position 1 player.
Okay. Do you like typically you only want like 1 or 2 carries, or?
You only want one of each position. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Like, what exactly? What do you mean? What do you mean? I feel like there's something to be gained out of that question. So, can you elaborate on it?
Like I think I like heard somewhere that you want like 1 core hero per lane,
Yeah, I
So-
mean, yeah,
and the core are the heroes that get the priority
yeah. I mean,
as far as the farming.
yeah. Like an offlaner would give, you know, an offlaner like Bristleback. What is he? You know, he's a frontliner. You know, he's a core. He's tanky. He's a frontliner. Basically what a core is it's someone who like does well with farm. Like, is Witch Doctor gonna do really well with farm?
I see. Like they scale well with.
Yeah, they scale well with farm very well.
I see.
Does Bristleback scale better than a Terrorblade in farm?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Exactly. It's yeah, he doesn't. That's why he's not a carry hero.
Okay.
Does Void scale with Terrorblade?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. But Void can also be played as a 2 or even a 3, so he's a little bit more versatile.
Okay.
And then yeah, sniper is like he can be a 1. You know, he can really
Yeah.
carry. In this game, nah, never mind. Don't worry about it. Let's keep watching. Okay. Not much for me to say other than work on your last hitting under tower.
Is under attack.
That's good. You see, now you have a double wave again.
Radiant's middle tower
Same thing
is
just
under
keeps
attack.
repeating. If you can get a kill and not have that happen, it's so much better. Because if they TP back and they have this wave, then it's like, oh, I mean, I died, but at least I'm not, you know. I mean, you are out leveling them, but I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
kinda
that's
just
probably
give 'em
because,
back all that XP that they-
right. If you can, like I said, if you can master keeping the equilibrium where it is, if you can master that,
Okay.
and you
But
can
you
kill
can-
them, that's just even better.
But you can't if your creeps are full health, you can't like deny those, right?
Right, which is why it's important to not let it get to that state, and if it does, then you kind of need to just pull and like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I see.
All right,
Yeah, this should all be stopping.
all right. So you get a kill on the necro. That's fine.
Tide is money. Two masts on this friggin' beach.
Witch doctor's hella harassing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right, so right here, you just auto attacked a bit. That pushed the wave forward. I think you know that. But
At one point, like, do you switch from like keeping the creep wave at your tower to like trying to push
Right.
theirs down?
right, I was gonna say. Okay, so one thing you got. Okay, so do you know what times the catapults spawn?
I don't.
It's every 5 minutes.
Okay.
So if you can, you know how you went for that double kill like a minute ago?
Mm-hmm.
If you went for that double kill at 5 minutes with the catapult, you would like it's one thing to kill them, but imagine if you had killed them and you had a catapult wave, then you would
Okay.
have done you would have taken a lot of objective. You know, you would have done a lot of damage
I
to the
see.
objective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
So
one
you should
thing.
even time out your ganks with the catapult
Yeah.
waves.
Yeah, if you do that, like, just because you get a kill doesn't really mean the game's won. You know what I mean, or that
Uh-huh.
they lost the
Right.
lane. It's like
Yeah. I
it's
feel
kind
like-
of. Sorry.
I was just gonna say lower level players put a lot of emphasis on the kills.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not
Absolutely.
Not about
Even in my MMR too, I play ranked a few days ago. The same shit happened. They were like, I was standing back keeping the equilibrium here. I believe I was on the Dire. Yeah, I was actually playing Terrorblade. That's funny. And my supports were just going like way deep and just like trying to kill him level 1, messing up the
Yeah.
creep wave. And they were like, TB, why aren't you coming? You have meta. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to farm. I don't want like what do I gain by killing them once? 200, maybe 180 gold or some shit. I don't
that. Yeah.
fucking want that. So yeah, I mean
Okay.
if you can get away with just pushing the tower as well, go for it, but like it's kind of hard. It just takes practice to kind of know exactly when you should do that.
Okay.
But one thing is the catapult, another thing is if you see 5 heroes top, then you're free to push this tower, you know, that kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And at this point, I would actually just say you go in the jungle and just push this wave. Just like flash farm this wave. It's okay to push it out at this point. Like, it's kind of too late for you to, you know, the offlaners can go somewhere else at this point to get
Okay.
XP. So it doesn't really. It's not as important now to keep it here. Now you can just push it out, and just farm the jungle.
Should I like stack creeps?
I mean,
constantly,
yeah, it's
or-
always good on every. You know, it's always good to do that. It's not like you have to.
Dire's top
Like, it's
tower
not
is
like
under attack.
if you're missing a creep wave to stack a camp, then don't do that. But if you're
Okay.
if you can just do it in your free time, go for it. Yeah, and you
Okay.
definitely should not be doing this, especially if first of all, he is, right here, and imagine if you had the second offlaner here, like that's super dangerous to farm this. You should probably just
Okay.
farm somewhere else, or wait until you have
Okay.
your perseverance or ring of health to farm that, or wait until they're not there. But it's super dangerous to farm like that.
Is under attack.
I'm sure you've died doing that before, haven't you?
Probably.
It's happened to me too. It's happened to a lot of people. You just like you
I
farm
just saw
here.
the stack camp and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you see the stat camp, or even if it's just a single camp, people just farm this, and then offlaner comes down, boop, dead.
okay.
Happens a lot. Alright, so you're pretty low. I see you have a morbid mask. I'm not super like knowledgeable about how to itemize void, but I feel like Mask of Madness, that doesn't seem right to me, but I'm not sure. I feel like you would just go like, I don't know. I'm it's hard for me to say, honestly. I don't play this hero that much, but like I don't want to just talk out of my ass to sound like I know things, but so I don't want to give you false information, but I feel like Mask of Madness doesn't feel right. Like if you're if you're going for the carry build, the farming carry build, you go Battle Fury, right?
Right.
And if Sniper is the farming carry, which is possible. I don't know if that's the case this game, but it's, that can happen. The Sniper can be the farming carry. Then you'd probably go like Diffusal, Manta Style, Aghanim Scepter, or something like that,
Okay.
But I'm not sure if Mask of Madness really like, works. I mean, I don't know. It might be okay.
So only like the position 1 should be building those really like high DPS items like
Radiant's bottom tower is
butterfly and stuff, and then position 2 would be like, it sounded like more support items like the diffusal blade and the scepter.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Sort of. The position 1 just gets the most farm. It doesn't necessarily have to be a butterfly or a Daedalus. It's just like they're probably going to be dishing out all the DPS, but like sometimes it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try. So like the position 2 would probably just be setting up for the position 1, or just trying to get like a slightly less amount of farm,
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, no, you can't all have equal amount of farm and like
Right.
win. You have
Right.
to like prioritize a carry for the farm, and then the position 2 gets a lot of farm as well. Like if you have let's say, like they have a Shadow Fiend, right? That's the position 2 on their team. Terrorblade's position 1. Terrorblade's gonna be farming more than the Shadow Fiend, and the Shadow Fiend is getting like a Shadow Blade so he can gank, or Terrorblade's not
Okay.
getting a Shadow Blade. He's not getting a blink. He's not getting something like that. He's just going straight. Well, he's going for Diffusal. I don't know if that's really correct,
Okay.
but you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could probably do better explaining. It's kind of hard to put it into words, but I think, yeah. I mean, simply put, it's just the farm priority, and I mean a position 2 can get a butterfly. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily about the items themselves. It's more like, yeah, like I think I know how to explain. I'll just explain one more thing. Like let's say there's an invoker mid and you're playing the carry, right? And you're playing the void. So you'd be playing position 2. So the reason why you wouldn't go for the position 1 build, which is the Battle Furies, the butterfly, the whatever, is because Invoker's going to be farming, right? He's going to be farming the whole map. So if you're farming 2 and they're taking towers, it's going to be a problem.
Right.
Like you can't get the same amount of farm. You can't both be farming the whole jungle.
I see.
So that's why you want to make sure that the Invoker has enough space to farm, because if you're both farming, they're going to take advantage of it and they're going to just punish you,
Okay.
So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'm guessing I actually have no problem with you TPing top at all. I think it's fine, but like, did you TP top? Why? I just want to know why you TP top. What was your
I just
reason?
was gonna rotate with that Bristle because it seemed like he was struggling top lane.
And what was your? What did you hope to accomplish by TPing? I'm not saying that there was nothing you accomplished. I just want to know your thought process.
You'd probably just like push that tower down.
Okay,
Maybe take a good fight top, gank the heroes, and push the tower.
that's fine. Yeah, I was hoping you'd say something like that because that's good to try and push the tower. If you were saying here's an example of something that would have been bad of you to say. I'm going top to help Bristle's lane, or I'm going top to get kills. Those aren't really good for the position 1. It's not your job to help lanes, and it's not your job to get kills. It's your job to farm and get ahead of the enemy carry and have impact. And pushing towers is fine. Pushing towers is good.
Dire's top tower is under
Alright, good,
attack.
yeah. So you're just taking the objective. Another thing is you see him and Lone Druid bottom, right? You see Shadow Fiend mid, so you know it's only Clockwork and Terrorblade. Can Clockwork and Terrorblade stop Bristleback, you, and Kunkka?
No.
No, right? So
No.
you're good. You're good to push this.
Dire's top tower
I
is
mean,
under
I'm
attack.
just I don't think you thought of it that way. That's why I'm bringing it up. So like if you think of it that way every time you go to push, like who's in this lane?
Yeah.
If you like, let's say this is how I would have, or not just me, but like here's how you would want to think about it when you make this decision. Like you just went up there probably thinking like, okay, it seems like I've been in this lane too long. I'm gonna go top and get this tower, right, with my Bristle. Something like that. And then so the way you want to approach it is, first of all, can I take my tower? Like, is that something I can really do? And against the Necrophos and LD, I think it's kind of annoying to do it. Like, it's much easier to get this tower, right? So you go top, and then you think, okay, so I want to push this tower. So you ask yourself, who's in the lane? So you look around the map, you see Shadow Fiend mid, you see Necrophos, so you know that they're not in the lane. You know Lone Druid's dead, so you know he's not in the lane. So it's Clockwork and Terrorblade.
Right.
And Clockwork and Terrorblade will not stop you guys from pushing.
Right.
So if you think of it that way, you'll be able to take more pushes that you probably wouldn't have, and like to understand why it's good that you pushed here, I think is important, so that you can
Radiant's bottom
Right.
like
tower
apply
is
that
under
to your other
attack.
games.
Mhm.
And like they're just kind of walking all over these guys, so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so like you backing up here, like I don't think you should. You have this is why I think this is the problem with you not knowing why you went up there, like why you can push it, because you just backed up when you didn't need to. You have Chrono, you know, you can just Chrono into
Right.
he doesn't have boat. Okay, well you can just Chrono into Torrent and then like kill him,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
get a tower.
I think I saw that Bristle running away.
Okay, so yeah, Bristle ran away, and then you guys followed him, because yeah, you all have like the same, you know, you all don't know that you can take this tower, but like also ask yourself this: if they TP in, then what happens? Like, let's say Necrophos TPs in, then what do you do? Can you still take that fight, or is that bad? And think
Probably
about
bad.
if they TP in. Yeah, I'd say it's probably bad, but it could go well, but it depends on how the fight is before they TP in or anything like that. Like if
Right.
you're low health and he scythes you or he ults you, then that's bad. But if you're totally healthy, you might actually be able to kill him. But if Shadow Fiend comes in, I'm not sure. But if you actually click on him, like let's say this is another part of map awareness, and I hope I'm not going too fast. Just let me know if you have, if I'm going too fast. Part of map awareness is not just looking around, it's also clicking and seeing items. And if you look at his mana, so first of all, you could even ask, does he even have a TP scroll? Because sometimes people don't even have one. And if he doesn't, and you see that he's mid, the only way he's going to get one is if he brings one all the way to him, and he's probably not going to be able to TP in time. Also, he doesn't have that much mana, and you can see that on your side. So
Right.
you can just be like, oh, well, he's not going to do
Oh.
anything. He doesn't have any mana. And you could look at the Necrophos and do the same thing. You could say, like, oh, he does have a TP scroll, and he does have enough mana to contribute. So that's something to consider. So,
Okay.
yeah. Do you have any questions so far? Or
No.
okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm not going too fast.
No, yeah, that all makes sense.
Okay, good. Alright, so I'm actually not going to say anything about it because it could actually be good. I don't want to, like I said, don't want to say it's bad and then it actually ends up not being bad. I don't know. Okay, so you're still top, which is fine if you're going for the tower. What item did you go for after the Mask of Madness?
I think Battle Fury.
Dire's middle tower is under
Okay.
attack.
See, to me, that feels okay. I don't know. I don't think that's fine and all that you killed him, but like, I think you should have used your Chrono when you could have gotten either Terrorblade or Necro in it as well. I think
Okay.
you could have done that. Let's look at it one more time. Like, using it on a support isn't really ideal, right? Yeah, see,
right.
the Terrorblade was walking up. You could have gotten both of them.
Yeah.
The Necrophos was right next to the Terrorblade. You could have just avoided Clock
Mhm.
completely and just gone for this Chrono. And then the boat could have gone right here. That would have been really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just, when you're chronoing, just think about your targets.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah, just think about your targets. Who should I
Yeah.
target? Can I kill them?
I think I meant to get Terrorblade too, and I just missed.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like you did. It did. If you had just waited another second or so, I think you would have. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely looked like you wanted to get him in there, but yeah. Just don't be too hasty with them, but also don't wait too long. You know, it's about the
Yeah.
balance. Okay, so you see what happened when you killed. So you actually killed Terrorblade, which is awesome. I mean, that's surprising that you killed him without even using Chrono, but he died. And then what happened is when you killed him, you got a tower out of it. Like, this is something I want to talk about that I think will help you. Let's say that you took that fight like back here. Like, let's say they got your tower, just for the sake of this, what I'm trying to show you. Let's say that there's no tower here, right? And that there is a tower here. And let's say you guys fought right here, and you won. And the creep wave is back here. Do you get this tower?
No.
No, you don't. But since you took a fight and the creep wave is right there, and you could just get the tower. So, that's an example of, like, how do I explain this? So there's a few things to take away from that. First, creep equilibrium is super important in all stages of the game. Second, you don't have to don't take fights that are just, you're not going to get anything out of them. If shutting down the enemy heroes, like if you get a team wipe, obviously that's great because it gives you a net worth swing. But if you team wipe them back here, all you're doing is preventing them from getting your tower. You're not actually getting a tower out of it. So if you could, team wiping them here is way better than team wiping them here, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's not like team wiping them is bad. It's just like it's better if it's here,
Mm-hmm.
or even just getting a few kills would probably get you this tower.
Right.
Dire's top tower
Like,
has fallen.
I feel like a lot of players, not even just in your bracket, but just in general, just go for kills and they don't really think about it. They're just like, oh, kill, because if I get more gold than them, then. But like, that's not really all it is, you know.
Yeah, you want to be
Radiant's middle
thinking
tower is under attack.
ahead.
Ooh, bounty.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you take objectives. So
Fortified.
let's see what you do.
Dire's bottom
Wait,
tower
you
is
TP
under
back to base. Were you low, or let me see that one more time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, bounty.
Wait. Why did you TP back to base here?
I think I just heal up and grab my item.
by seeing this, I think you know how inefficient that is, right?
Going back to base.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very bad. Like that's you could have just
Okay.
farmed this whole creep wave, this whole jungle, and you could have just brought the Ring of Health to you. You have a Mask of Madness. You don't need to go back to base to heal. That's the whole point of buying it, actually.
Okay.
The whole point of buying Lifesteal, like one of the huge reasons, is not even really for fighting. It's actually more for farming.
Okay.
And also, I wouldn't really have. Sorry, go ahead.
Sustainability in the lane or what?
The Mask of Madness.
Yeah.
I would say it's more for jungling.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, it gives you sustainability in lane, but so does Ring of Health, and it's way cheaper. So I actually think Ring of Health is also good for jungling. It's good for both, you know.
Okay.
I like Ring of Health better than this item in general. I only really ever get Mask of Madness on Void when I know I need to fight super early, and the armor isn't gonna destroy me or the silence. Like if I need to chrono in Mask of Madness and pick off some targets, then that's when you probably would go for that.
Okay.
But like if you're gonna farm, I don't think you go Battle Fury and Mask of Madness. I feel like those are two like contradicting items. One of them says I want to stay back and farm. The other one says I want to go in and fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going for Mask of Madness, I don't think you go Battle Fury, and if you go Battle Fury, I don't think you go Mask of Madness.
Okay. What would you go?
What would I go in this
if you
particular game?
Yeah.
I would have gone Battle Fury. Well, it depends. Like, do I think this Terrorblade's gonna push really hard? It doesn't really seem like he's that good. Like, if we're just talking heroes, then I probably actually would not have gotten Battle Fury. I probably would have let the sniper carry. But in this game, reading this game, looking at this game, looking how the sniper's doing, look at how, like, literally none of your towers has fallen, I would have gone Battle Fury, and then I probably would have gotten. Let's see. What would I have gotten? I think I would probably gotten Battle Fury into Yasha, and then I would have thought about going for a Manta style, and then maybe Butterfly is pretty good here. Yeah, something like that. I can't give you a definitive build this game because, like I said, Void is not my, like, forte.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, like, I probably, you know what? I think I would have gone Battle Fury for sure. And then I definitely probably would have gone Manta because, like, you could use the illusions with the Battle Fury. I mean, it's not that good, but it's, you know, they nerfed it. They nerfed the Battle Fury on illusions, but it's still decent. And you can also clear the Terrorblade's illusions a little bit better. You could. So here's an option. You could go Maelstrom as well for the illusions, or because he also has high armor and the magic goes through that. The magic damage of the Mjolnir. Or you could just go like Battle Fury into Manta into Butterfly into Daedalus, just super high DPS. You could do that. You could get Scotty. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of different choices, but I don't know exactly what I would have gone, but I can tell you what I wouldn't have gone. I would not have gone Mask Madness Battle Fury. If that makes sense. Like, I would like to give you, like, with complete confidence, like, oh, this item, this item, this item. But, you know, I don't know everything, so I'm just not sure exactly what would have been the perfect build on that hero. On Invoker, I could definitely tell you. Or, like,
Yeah.
Storm Spirit or other heroes.
I like it on Void just because he's got that chance to bash.
Right, you're
And
building
yeah,
the attack
and-
speed for the bash, right.
Right.
I get that.
And, yeah, they're just like
But does that really
you have,
help?
like 5 seconds in your ult, so you want to get off as many attacks as you can.
Right,
That was my thinking, but
that makes
and
sense. But
and you're vulnerable, you know, so you won't take that additional damage while you got the mask up.
you're invulnerable?
I mean, like they're frozen, you know. So
Oh,
not
yeah,
doing
yeah,
open
yeah, yeah.
Attacks.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So yes, that is true. That's all true, actually. But does Mask of Madness really help when you're using Battle Fury to farm creeps? And does Battle Fury really help when you're hitting people? Not really.
Okay.
You see,
I
the
see.
problem with why you don't go both. They both do
Mhm.
they both kind of do completely different things.
I see.
Yeah.
One's for farming, one's for fighting.
If I was gonna go Mask of Madness here, what I can tell you for sure, I would have gone Mask of Madness, Diffusal, Manta. If I got a Mask of Madness, if I was going
Okay.
Battle Fury, that's where I'm kind of unsure. But
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower
I
is
see.
under attack.
yeah. All right, so you get the tower, and then both of you, ideally one of you would TP here. It would probably just be you, so you
Right,
could get the
yeah.
farm. But you know, whatever. It's not a big deal. So yeah, that's fine. You get the tower immediately back up. Fix the lane. That's definitely a good thing to do. Because you don't want to be pushing bottom and taking the next objective if your tier 2 is getting pummeled, right?
Right.
So that's fine that you're doing that.
Has fallen.
You know what probably should have happened actually? In the optimal situation, I would argue like Witch Doctor TP's here, you TP bottom with the bristle, and you take this tower, right? While Witch Doctor keeps the
Okay.
wave at bay. I think that would have
Mhm.
been the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But either way, I think you
Yeah.
had the right idea.
Do you want to have a TP on you at all times?
I'd say yeah,
Tower is under attack.
definitely. I mean, let's see. Let's look at Shadow Fiend, right? Let's say Shadow Fiend solo ganks you, okay? So if Shadow Fiend solo ganks you, let's say Terrorblade and Shadow Fiend both gank you. Like, if you have a TP, can they stop it?
Nope.
Right. So you just
No
eliminated
stop.
2 threats just by having a 50 gold item.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, it's not that straightforward because, like, yes, they could burst you down, right? But in a lot of games, that does apply. In a lot of games, especially early game, that can really apply. Like, if you watch a pro game, I don't know how... you were just watching the pro game. I wasn't really paying that much attention to the game. I was mostly listening to BSJ. But a lot of times in pro games, just pay attention to this one thing. You probably have noticed it. Where the pro player, he just straight up just TPs right in the middle of 3 heroes. Just TPs back to base.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right?
Uh-huh.
That's because they have no way of stopping it, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And just by having that TP, he just gets away from like 3 heroes, 3 heroes, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have that TP, it's actually huge. Also, if you have a TP, it allows you to TP to lanes if they need help or if you need to get there, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, having a TP at all times is definitely not a bad thing at all.
Dire's bottom
Definitely need
tower
that.
is under attack.
Okay, so I was fine with what you were doing, but like farming these, right? And then walking this way. But now what I'm wondering is why are you here? So let me keep watching. You just went up to the mid river. You're kind of not really accomplishing anything here.
Dire's bottom tower
You go up to farm this wave. You don't even really get that much farm because Terrorblade's pushing it, and then
bottom tower is
you could have just farmed 2 jungle camps and then went here and taken the wave.
Mhm.
You didn't need to just stand there and do that, like, and I think I know why you did it. I don't think you really knew. I don't think you had in your mind what you needed to do next. I think you just wanted to farm, right?
Dire's structures
Right.
are fortified.
But actually, like, if you're gonna go mid and you see this happening, then you need to push it like hard.
Okay.
But at first, I think what you should have had in your mind is either 2 things. First, one thing is I'm gonna go meet up with my team bottom. I'm gonna farm my way there, and I'm gonna get this tower and then fight with them. Or you could have, like, let's say you see that they're kind of getting this tower without you, and they don't really need you to be there. Then you could be like, okay, I'm gonna push in the mid wave.
Mhm.
And I'm going to pressure this tower as well as my team pressuring this tower.
Right.
But instead, you just kind of like were unsure, right?
Mhm.
So, also, I can't say this for sure, but let me just look again real quick. I feel like what you could have done here is I think you actually could have killed the Terrorblade. Because I think what you could have done is while you guys were like right next to each other right here, I think you just should have just manned up on him and just hit him.
Dire's bottom tower
Because
I
if
was
you
just- Yeah,
Huh?
I just wasn't sure. I was afraid that I would like ult him and get him super low, and then as soon as my ult was up, he'd just life swap me.
Right, but that's why you hit before you get to like 60%, so you're gonna get like half of your money. Oh, what?
It's all static now.
Oh, really? Uh-oh. Is it good now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, not sure why that happened, but it's as long as it's fixed, we're good. Okay, so yeah, so right here, because if you just hit him like that, what's he really gonna do? Hit you back?
Yeah.
And then what do? You just, if you feel like you're taking too much damage, you just time walk away and you're totally fine. And he doesn't have that option. And if you get him low enough, you could even, yeah, you're playing a little too scared. I mean, hold
Okay.
on, fog. I want to see your vision.
Yeah, I wasn't sure too how many other heroes are around him.
Let's say Shadow Fiend and Necrophos were there. Can they really kill you? You know, if you just time walk away back to your side, are you gonna be fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I
The only
might
heroes you
use
should
my
really.
ulti.
Sorry, what?
Or put my ulti on cooldown.
Well, I don't even think you'd need to use it. Oh, like you mean you use it, and
To
then
try and kill him, and then their teammates come in.
right, but if you try to kill him with your chrono, the idea is that you would kill him. Like you'd get him low enough, and then you chrono him before he can do anything, and then you can
Mhm.
kill him before he does anything. And then if they show up, like let's say Clockwork like you see Clockwork right here,
Mm-hmm.
so you know Clockwork's nowhere nearby. So the only possibilities is Lone Druid, Shadow Fiend, and Necrophos. I think if you see Necrophos show up, or like Shadow Fiend, you're fine. But like if you see Lone Druid show up, you just back up, right?
Okay.
Because he can root you and actually kill you.
Mhm.
But if you had just like started hitting this Terrorblade, you probably would have gotten some bash stuff, done some considerable amount of damage. And if you just chronoed him, I think in Mask of Madness, I'm pretty sure he would be dead, and I don't think the enemy team would be able to kill you in response. And then the carry would be down, and you just get a free tower.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like you'd think, oh, but they're all missing, so it's dangerous. But like, can they really kill you? Not really. So it doesn't even really matter that they're missing.
Okay.
If it was like Bat Rider was missing, then maybe yeah, you don't want to do something like that.
I see.
Okay, so now you're pushing this out, which is good. Your team is destroying, which is great as well. So you're 1-0 right now? Didn't you get like 12? Wow, okay, so something crazy happens. I'm waiting to see that. Okay, so then you go, yeah. I mean, that's what you could have done to Terrorblade, but here's the thing. You see how much damage you did, right? You did a lot of damage. The only reason that didn't work is because you didn't hit him beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to be doing.
Stop him up a little
You shouldn't be
fast.
chronoing him at at full health. When he's at full health, the chrono's glitched out. But yeah.
Okay.
Like if you had just attacked him a few times, just literally like 2 hits, wouldn't he have died if you chronoed after that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there's no reason why you can't do that. It's not like he's gonna kill you while you're hitting him.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely could have killed him there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Also, wait, let me see that again. Why did you take so much damage?
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, you just went a little bit. Okay, never mind.
Right.
I thought you were.
Dire's
Never mind.
bottom tower
Alright.
is under attack.
Moving on. See, it's 19 minutes in, and you still, like, Battle Fury is not useful, right? Like, you see why it's not useful, right?
Hmm.
In none of these situations, Battle Fury would have done anything.
Dire's
Okay,
middle
cool.
tower
Kill the
is under
Terrorblade. Getting a tower. Okay, cool. Looks like you guys are just winning this game at this point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So right here, I mean, I guess this is fine. You're just trying to keep the wave pushed out. But I mean, you probably want to make sure that you get this. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But like, just make sure you keep your objective in mind, whatever you're doing.
Sure.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Okay, so you get the Battle Fury. So this whole game you've been fighting. So actually, I actually think Mask Madness was not bad here. I've seen it. By watching this game, I've seen it be useful. It has been useful for you to get it. But when you get Battle Fury, that just kind of, yeah, it just doesn't really make sense because you're fighting this whole time. Battle Fury does not really help with that. Okay, so I see you were trying to get the 2-man chrono, but you should aim to get the Terrorblade in there, not
Okay.
the clock. Like, you prioritize the
Right,
clock.
right.
Probably not on purpose. I obviously could see you were getting both, but if you do miss one, you at least want to make sure you get the Terrorblade because you don't want to give him a chance. Anyway, yeah. Continuing.
That's for me.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I was gonna say that's very aggressive, but I mean,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Shadow Fiend's not even there. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get this tower, that's fine. But if you're... Yes, I had a feeling something like that would happen. Yeah. So, I think okay, so the reason why this happened is because after getting this tower, and people do this all the time, they just go straight for high ground, like, but I don't know why people do this, like, there's no reason. Let's say you even get the tower, what do you even gain? Like, it's so risky.
Right.
And you could have just gone for this tower and then gotten Roche and then gone high ground, and then you would have secured it.
Mm-hmm.
You're by like going in aggressively like that, it just gives them an opportunity to come back, you know? They
Right.
got 2 kills. Could have been more. Good thing it wasn't, but like, you know what I'm
Dire's
saying.
middle tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
Alright, so now you're farming. See, Battle Fury definitely helps you with that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not really what you're doing this game. Right now you should be just, your team should have just gone straight top and just gone, you know.
Okay.
But now that your supports are dead, you're kind of just back to farming, right? So let's see. So that's kind of, you have vision. Okay, you have wards. Never mind, you have wards, so it's fine. I was gonna say it's very dangerous, but you do have vision. Speaking of vision, where is your vision?
Doesn't look like we
Okay,
got
he hasn't
much.
placed them yet. At least he bought some wards though. Okay, so I see you're trying to get a kill.
Radiant's middle tower
So
is
like
under
here's another
attack.
thing. Battle Fury doesn't get you this kill. If you had a better item like Diffusal, actually I think you would have killed him. Just at full health. But not with Battle Fury. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, so you just... Okay, so you get that kill.
Dire's
you-
top tower is under attack.
Bristleback's actually doing the right thing and pushing out this lane. But like you didn't really gain anything from getting that kill other than some gold. And this is kind of goes back to like oh my god. Okay, I'm about to go off on what's going on here. Okay, so your whole team and I don't want to like be mean or anything, but like I want to make you understand that this is actually a lot of your fault. What's happening here, and I'm going to explain what's happening here and why it's really bad. So
Okay.
first of all, After you went for that kill, your entire team rotated to you because you're the position one, you're the playmaker, you're the one that you're taking objectives, so they're gonna play around you, right?
Okay.
So when you go for this kill, it makes your whole team think, okay, we're gonna fight here, we're going here, and then he puts this completely useless ward here. I mean, it makes no sense. Your whole team's here. You should be going for this objective, and instead you're just like over here, the complete opposite side of the map. That's why it's bad. And the reason why it's your fault is because you're there too. You were the first one there, and you're the carry. You're the carry. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if like you should, so okay, in your games,
So I should be top right now.
yeah, absolutely, definitely, your whole team should be.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so in all your games, you have to ask yourself this: what is the objective? Is the objective a tier 3? Okay, so in this case, based on everything we've been talking about, what's the objective right now?
Probably take bottom racks.
No. That is not the objective. The objective is this.
Okay.
So,
I always had like the feeling that your team was supposed to make space for you by like pushing out the tower, and I'll be in the other lane farming.
I mean, that can work in some cases, but in this particular case, you just took 2 T2s, you just won a fight, and then you went and then you went here and like fed 2 supports, right? If you didn't go there with them, I guarantee you they would not have been there.
Okay.
So it is kind of like, it is some, it's not
I
like
see.
all their fault, it's also your fault. You have you are
Right,
partially
you're
to
just
blame.
reacting to what I'm doing. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's the objective is not this. You don't want it like why let me ask you this. Why would you go high ground when you could go high ground with them not having a tier 2 and with Aegis? Like, why not take the advantage?
Right.
By going now, you'd just be giving them a chance to come back.
Well, just because they have one dead right now, but
Yeah, but he'll be... I mean, look where the creep wave is. He'll be back. He'll be back alive. Far before the
Right.
creeps get there. See, this is what I mean. That kill didn't accomplish anything. That's what I was kind of... That was from my earlier point, remember?
right.
So that's kind of exactly... That's a perfect example. You get that kill, he's back. Nothing fucking happened.
Right, but it's still, is it not better than not killing them then?
If you don't kill him and you all go top, it's better than killing him. If that makes sense.
Uh-huh. What if I killed them and then TP top?
It doesn't really do much. I mean, if the creep wave is right here and all your teammates are right there and you're over here and they're here and you got a kill there, then that helps. But why not just be here and just chrono them here and win the fight, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You always want to play around the objective. Like right now, you're not really playing around the objective. I mean, it's great that you're winning this fight, and honestly, you can actually get like racks out of this. But the point of what I'm trying to say is it didn't, like, this is still kind of risky. Not only are you fighting at their shrine, but you're not really fighting near an easy to take objective that gives you a secure advantage. Like if you watch pro games, like, I mean, sometimes pro games they will just go straight for the tier 3, but that's only because they know they can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch pro games, they always like.
From here, we're getting the racks for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But there was no guarantee that this was even ever gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be playing around here. Like yeah, you got lucky. You killed them in their shrine, and you still won the fight. That's good and all. But like if you do the same thing in every game, I think it's gonna not work out more often than it works out.
Right.
In this case, it worked out. But I still think it's like a sloppy positioning on your whole team, on your whole team's part. Like Okay, so yeah, you get this team wipe, like that's huge, and you know what? You can take 2 racks out of this. But imagine if but it doesn't win the game, right? You get 2 racks, which is great. But imagine if you had gone top, gotten this tower, and then imagine if you'd even just team wiped them here. If you had team wiped them here, wouldn't it just be GG?
Yeah, probably.
It would be GG just right there, probably, most likely. I can't, obviously it's not 100%, but it's probably GG right there.
Mm-hmm.
And just because there's a chance of that happening, it's way better to go up here.
Okay.
And let's say you don't. Let's say you get a couple pickoffs and that's it. And then you get the tower. Then you're free to take Roche.
Mm-hmm.
And then taking high excuse me. Taking high ground is a piece of cake. And the game's kind of over right there. So, it's all about, like, the point I'm trying to make is just taking the more optimal, the more secure, the one where okay, there's no chance. You want to minimize the chance of you losing this game, obviously, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the logic behind it.
Okay.
By being here, that you give them more of a chance to come back.
Okay.
And again, do you want me to explain why this word is terrible?
Sure.
The reason why this word is terrible is because it's nowhere near an objective.
Okay.
A word you would want would be like here, it's right next to this tower. Or
Mhm.
here, right next to Roche. Here, right next to Roche. In their
Okay.
base, so you can take the towers. Or like here, so you can be around here, Or
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
Just so that you know, because honestly, in my games, I usually end up buying wards because of my supports doing shit like this. It's so annoying. Sorry, I get it's something that tilts me in my pubs.
No, I get it.
Yeah, so
Dire's structures
that is why it's a bad ward. Like, could you imagine if you had a ward right here?
attack.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's hard to put it there, but even like a word. I mean, he did end up putting a word there, which is fine. But like, you see what I'm saying? You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No, that makes sense.
Dire's bottom tower. Dire's
This is the last time I'm gonna mention it. I just want to make sure that I like drive the point home a little bit. If you had a diffusal blade or a full butterfly and a diffusal blade instead of this Battle Fury, don't you think you'd be hitting way harder in this entire game?
Yeah.
Right. So that's just
Okay.
trying to make sure you understand fully why I don't think it's good. If you're farming, it's good. If you're farming a lot, then it's totally fine. So here's another common pub mistake. Going this deep, like why in the world? You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
get the barracks
Go first.
and
Yeah.
get out. There's no reason to stay there. It's the same logic. You're just giving them another chance to come back, because they can
Right.
team wipe you here.
Yeah.
They can't team wipe you
Unnecessary
here. With all this vision, this overlapping words, they're not gonna team wipe you,
Yeah.
I mean, you got it, right? You got the kills. You didn't like all die, but you could have,
Right.
and that's the problem. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Radiant's top
Damn,
tower
that
is
Sunder,
under
though.
attack. Dire's
Save the
middle
Necro.
tower is under attack. Radiant's
And yeah, you got more
top
objectives out of it.
Warrior's middle tower has fallen.
But you just got one extra T3, and it was risky. Okay, you did end up getting the barracks, but still, you see what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Yeah, you're taking a big risk for a little
I think you could have won the game right now, as opposed to getting 2 sets of racks right now. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because by doing all the things you did, like being here when they still had a T2, imagine if they didn't have that T2 and you won those fights, you would have gotten mega creeps.
Yeah.
But instead, you just get 2 barracks
Middle barracks are under attack.
because you're bottom instead of top. And it's important as the carry to recognize that, because your team's gonna follow you around a lot.
Right. Okay.
All right, so at this point, I think
Dire's top shrine
okay,
is
so
under attack.
you are doing the right thing. You're farming your way bottom. I mean top. And then you're kind of going the wrong direction a little bit. Yeah. See how you see this? Okay, okay. That's good. I mean, it. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like if you kill them both, that's great and all, but here's the problem with that. Like, I'm gonna actually just ask you, why do you think that that was like a bad decision? Like, forgetting the fact that you died, why do you think that that was like? Just
So even if I
not
had
good?
gotten the kills and not died, if I got the
Just
double
like
kills,
why the general reasoning behind that was bad. Why do you think? It's okay if you
I'm
don't
not
know. I
sure.
just want to.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't.
Okay. I just want to give you an opportunity to like try to answer for yourself. So the reason why it's bad is because again, you're not getting anything out of it. You're not fighting around the objective.
Doesn't killing both their carries make getting that top tower easier? And
Yeah, yes, it does. It does. Like, I don't want to give you the wrong idea. It's not like it's a bad thing to do necessarily. It's not like it's terrible. Okay, let me try and explain. Okay, so if you see two of them here and you see the enemy heroes missing, like I think Clockwork was showing here and then Lone Druid too, then like here's the problem with it. Okay, the main problem with it is you should be going just top right now. And if they're so here, okay, I think I'm I'm a new coach. It's hard for me to put things into words a little bit, but I'm gonna try and explain this the best I can. So first things first, look at this creep wave. You see the creep wave. Okay, let me explain why you look at the creep wave. Sorry, so you can remember this. So you think, okay, what's the next objective? Step 1, identify the objective. It's this. The reason why it's this is because it allows you to get megas, and it also allows you to take Roche super easy and end the game and get megas after. You know, it exposes this tower.
Okay.
Next, check your lanes. If you got creeps here, maybe fix that before you get this objective, because otherwise you might lose this tower.
Okay.
Same thing like this. You might want to push this wave out a little bit. It's a little bit scary to do that. You don't have vision here, but that's kind of part of the problem. Like, you should have vision in this area of the map.
Okay.
This area right here. But anyway, forgetting about the vision thing, you might want to just push that out, because like if Terrorblade comes up and starts pushing this, then you're trading the towers, which isn't even like that bad. I think you take that trade in this particular case because they still have a whole lane to go through. This exposes that and gives you Roche. This just gives them a tower, which is yeah. So I mean, if you like go top, I think the reason why it's bad is because your mindset should just be, I'm going top now.
Okay.
And instead you're like wandering around like this, and then you're going mid, and they happen to be there, but like, what if they weren't there? What if they were bottom?
Yeah.
And then he sunders, right? I honestly, you should have killed Terrorblade before Shadow Fiend. I think that it's just because he can sunder you. Like, you shouldn't be. Okay, that chrono glitch is kind of weird. Let me go back. As soon as you chrono them, if you're gonna go for something like this, and they have a Terrorblade, what happens if Shadow Fiend survives with a couple like 200 health? You just hit him and he dies, right? Or he Shadow Blades. But if he Shadow Blades, at least he's low health. You know, at least you got a kill. If you leave Terrorblade with low health, that's exactly what he wants. And you don't even have a Linken's to block it, so you definitely should have killed him first. I mean, he's pretty underfarmed, but
yeah,
still.
I was thinking, like, if I don't kill him, then the chrono comes off. He's low health. He can swap me, and there's two of them. If I kill SF, then it's just 1v1, and he can't ult me because he's not low health.
It seems like you're too scared of the Sunder. Like you're I get why it's a scary spell. Like it definitely hurts, but you actually
It might.
just huh?
Do you know if I'm able to time walk that?
Yeah,
Like
you
if
are.
he uses on me, I
Oh,
can just
oh
leave
no,
him and-
I don't think so. Because it's
Okay.
not a damage. It's not damage. It's health. It's HP percentage swap. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't. I'm gonna say no, but I actually could be wrong. I have not tested that, but I'm gonna say no just based on what I understand.
Okay.
But yeah. So by being too afraid of Terrorblade, you actually set up exactly what you didn't want to happen.
Mhm.
You definitely should have focused Terrorblade because you can kill him with where you are as a hero. You're 3 levels ahead of him. Yeah, you should be fine to kill him. But instead, you go on him, and you see how much DPS you did. Like he got down here. You did over 2,000 damage. You could have killed him for sure.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he gets that off and you die. So like, let's say you did kill them both, or just one of them, or whatever, right? Then you walk top, and you probably get the tower. I would say you probably do, which is good and all, but like, there's just no guarantee that they would be there. They could have just gone bottom and pushed this
Right.
tower. Would you have gone bottom then? I don't think so, right? You were just going mid because I think you were
I just
Kind of
wanted to
not.
push out the lane.
right. So that's kind of why the general decision making behind it is bad. The outcome may not always be bad, but like, you see what I mean? Like if you had gotten that situation up here, you actually might have just won the game right there.
Uh-huh.
But by doing it here, you just get one tower.
Right.
If that makes sense. I think.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay. Also, none of your teammates have dust or anything like that. I would just buy some as a carry and just like you're not using that magic stick.
Yeah.
Why did you buy a magic stick?
Usually, like I'll start with the magic stick. If they're not, or I'd get a stout shield if they had like a heavy like melee carry lineup, but they were kind of like.
Okay, against Necrophos, I would have also gone a magic stick, but I would have upgraded it to a magic wand like really fast. I'll explain why after. We'll go over that after the game. Can you remind me to look at your starting items after the game?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. It seems like your Bristleback has been playing the objective a little bit more than the rest of your team. Again, he probably wasn't thinking of it consciously, but he seems to have a little bit more awareness. Just an observation. So, okay, Krunka DC'd. Sniper dead. That's not good. Okay, and the tower did fall. It could have fallen like probably 5 minutes ago or more.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
So you know how? So you see, you get these barracks. Did it really accomplish that much?
No, not really.
Like you would agree that getting this is better. Would have been better
Getting the top tower is better
Right.
than getting the bottom racks.
in this particular case. Wouldn't you?
Okay.
Would you agree that with that? Like, because remember, it opens up Roche, and it also allows you to get megas. Like, remember what I said? If you had gotten this tower first and then taken that fight here, you know, over here or wherever it was, you could have just gotten megas right there, right?
Yeah.
But instead, you were only able to get one lane.
Okay.
So does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Like, I don't want you. I'm not saying getting racks is bad. I'm just saying, like, see, like, your whole team this whole time has been taking objectives, right? But they're just not thinking about it. But like, see, you're going for Roche, like, you know, okay, Roche time, like, but you don't really understand why. But you do, like, right after you get this tower, you get Roche. It's kind of funny, like, how people do that without, like, they just kind of know, like, it's a feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting. That's all. Nothing really to say about it. Just thought it was interesting.
If I know they have to defend, then it's safe.
All right. I mean, this is just a pretty huge case of not having vision around the objective.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably shouldn't have taken this objective with them all missing like that, because they could have easily just taken that, and that's also giving them another chance to come back right there.
Yeah.
Like if you can kill them and then take Roche, that would be awesome. Or if you can get some wards around here so you can get some vision,
Mm-hmm.
then you could definitely go for that. I don't have too much to say about that other than that. Alright, but anyway, you do win that fight at the Roche Pit, and basically it's GG at this point. Pretty much. I mean, not exactly, but you can just go top now and or stay mid. Wait, what? What are you guys doing? There's top right there. Are you going for... You're just going for kills. Okay. Yeah, your whole team did that. Your whole team. It wasn't even just you. It was just everyone. See, you just get... See what just happened there?
Mm-hmm.
You died, right? Like, that's really... That could lose the game right there. That could.
Yeah.
It didn't. It didn't, but it could. And yeah, I think you know that. I'm sure you've lost games because of that.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has. Like, I don't know why. Like, people just want to get the kills, but like, just go here.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta go right here. I think you
Mhm.
would have taken it. Like, if you just stand back, like here, you just take it, then they have to come up on you, and then it's super easy for you to take that fight. If you're
Yeah.
all the way in here, then they're like having an advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely game throwing stuff right there. Didn't end up being as bad as it definitely could have been, but that's like that kind of... Oh, is my mic working? What happened there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, okay, what was that? Did I cut out at all, or I saw like my
No.
thing wasn't green?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Must have been a glitch. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the play was game throwing. That's right. That general team decision was game throwing. That's how you can lose games pretty easy. Happens a lot. And Sniper, after you died, stayed there. Another game throwing. See, look at that. Just because of that, both, like, look at that. 2 cores dead, no buyback. That's huge. That's not good. That did not need to happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. And if you had Aegis there and you didn't take that sloppy fight, and lost the Aegis, that would have been much better as well.
Right.
It's all about using your advantages to the best of its potential. Like, just abusing your advantage is a good way to put it. And by doing what you did, you're not abusing any advantages. You're just kill hungry.
Radiant's bottom
Right.
tower is under attack. Dire's
All right.
top tower
So
is
Bristleback's
under
pushing
attack.
out this lane.
Has fallen.
Like another example of, like I said, he seems to be pretty objective this game. He's top. You guys should all be top. All right, so you get a kill. That's good. At this point, yeah, that's it. That's GG right there. Yeah, you even GG well played. Yep. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna go back and look at your starting items real quick, and then I can, if you have any questions, we can talk about anything.
Cool.
All right. Let me see. Okay, Okay, I definitely have some issues with this. Yeah, I definitely have some major problems with this build. Yeah, this is like absolutely one of the, like, I'm not trying. Sorry, I'm sounding like a total dick.
No, it's
I-
fine.
This is like one of the worst item builds you can go. I'm not even like, it actually is. Here's why. You can buy both of these in the side shop, so it's kind of pointless to buy them here.
Yeah.
And then,
The magic stick and the quelling blade.
yeah, look, if I click, oh, it's not showing me. If I press play, does it work? No. Okay. Well, it's there. It's
Okay.
there. Both of these things are in the side shop. What you should buy if you're going for, which I would have gone for. This is what I would have done. I would have gotten one Well, actually, let me think. Actually, you know what? I might have actually gotten 2 sets of tangos here as well. I guess it doesn't matter. You either go 1 set of tangos in a salve or 2 sets of tangos, whatever. Not important.
Okay.
And then you get like a stout shield because, lone druid harass the bear. The stout shield helps against that, and so it just helps. It's good. You get it most of the time. The only time you don't get stout shield is like against an Ursa or something. And then I would have gone a mango and two branches. Because if you take a look at the recipe for Magic Wand, look at that. Mango, 2 branches, and then you buy the magic stick from the side shop and you get the magic wand.
Okay.
And then you just buy the quelling blade from the side shop too. Did you know you can also buy boots in the side shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Just
I
wasn't
know.
sure. Let me just go on Do Not Disturb on Skype. 1 second. Okay. So why do you think Magic Wand... So here's why I think going Magic Stick is a huge mistake. Like a huge missed opportunity to not upgrade it. Like why do you think it's a huge missed opportunity?
To not upgrade it?
Yeah, like it is a huge missed opportunity, I'm telling you, but why do you think that is?
They
Do
got
you know?
they got a lot of spells they're gonna be spamming, so it'd probably be filled with charges
No.
pretty quickly.
That is not the case. The reason why it's a huge missed opportunity is the HP regen. It's super helpful. In this lane, I don't think it mattered as much, but against a Necrophos, you definitely want HP regen, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because he's going to
Got
just
that,
like,
or,
especially if he puts a level in this, it's going to be super obnoxious because it's actually a hard counter to this, to you. Because you can't just time walk all that, right? It's
Yeah,
super
right.
slow. So you need this. I mean,
Okay.
in your lane, it seemed like you guys put enough pressure that it didn't matter, but generally, just hero to hero, that's what you would want to do. Because it gives you 1.5 HP regen, which is very good. And that's why you get the
Yeah.
Enchanted Mango level 1.
Okay.
And they do cast a lot of spells, and this gives... It's all the thing. It's what you said and the HP regen.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
super
I didn't even
good.
know that it'd give HP regen.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot, actually. It's a huge difference. That's why people buy it so much. Like, if you just look at any high-level game, like, 9 out of 10 heroes just have a magic wand.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is actually because of the regen. It's not just because of the burst. That is a big part of it, too, though. But, yeah, the regen's huge. And then, yeah, the Quelling Blade, again, you buy that from this. So, you... The thing is it's inefficient for the courier. That's why. Like you're just hogging the courier by doing what you're doing. You could just buy this. You could just buy the things from here when you're here, and then finish them here. Like if you bought the build I said, Stout Shield, Mango, 2 branches, then you don't have to bring that stuff to you on the courier. The courier can be used by the mid laner or the off laner or whoever needs it.
I see.
So yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it. That's about all I had to say about it. So that will be it for this replay. Did you have any questions or anything you'd like to say?
I mean, I'm sure this goes back into the positioning, but it's like knowing like which lanes you should be.
Which
like-
lane you should be in?
Yeah, like I don't like the position 1 gets the safe lane. Is that the case usually? And then the
Usually, but it doesn't have to be like that.
okay.
Are you wondering when it would be different?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like wondering like how you predict what lanes their lineup is going to be in, and like what
Okay.
the optimal lane would be for you with your setup, like with your team composition.
Okay. I think that's a good question. I have a few things to say about it. First, the way you know... So first of all, every hero is a typical lane they're in. Like a most popular lane they're in, right?
Okay.
Like Void can go off lane. You know that, right? He can be
Okay.
a position 3 off laner.
Okay.
But he can also be a carry. But, you know,
Right.
you just look at the meta. You look at like... You go on Dota Buff, you look at the hero pages, you look at the pick rates and which lane, you look at DotaMastery.com, you look at all the matches, you know, you just You look at where they go, what they do. I think that's really important for getting better is to just watch like high skill games, just like any pub of just like a 6K MMR average pub, and you just follow one hero around. You learn a lot. One of those things you'll learn. So first, it's experience as well. A lot of it is experience. You just kind of know like what lane is Kunkka typically. What would he usually be?
Probably offline.
I would say he's more of a roaming support.
Okay.
He's a position 4 hero. That's his
Okay.
typical thing. Can he go off lane? I personally don't think he's that good at off lane, but I'm sure it could work in certain cases. And mid, I mean, he was a mid like 2 years ago, but he's really not that good at mid anymore unless you're like attacker or something.
Okay.
And like for example, I'll just like forget about the lane. I mean like Shadow Fiend. Let's just do an easy one. What would he be?
Position 2.
Right. Him mid.
Mid.
He always goes mid, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did you know that? Because you see him always go mid. You just see it. It's just experience. So that applies to all the heroes. You just kind of look at where they always go. And sometimes in your bracket, they don't do it right, though. That's the thing. That's why you look at higher level games.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, so that's how you know which lane to put the hero in, typically. But when you change that up, is when it's very simple, but it's not simple. Like it's a very simple thing, super hard to do. All it is just matchups. Who are you offlaning against? Who's the offlaner on the team? And can you lane against them? If not, can you go top? Right?
Okay.
Always, if you're playing carry, always think about the offlaner. Who's the offlaner? Don't just think about, oh, I'm Faceless Void, so I can out-carry the Terrorblade, because what if they pick, like, who's good against Faceless Void in lane? I'm trying to think. I feel like Necrophos is actually pretty good, but he just was terrible or something. Give me 1 sec. I'm actually going to look this up.
Is there, like, you have a source to, like, see which...
I'm just going on Dota Buff and just looking at heroes just so I can, like, look at them so I don't have to think. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, right. Lone Druid. He roots you and just does so much damage. In lane, I guess he's not that bad. But yeah, Necrophos, I would think. Hold on, let me just look. Okay, here's an example. Huskar. Huskar in lane, because he does the damage over time. You can't, like, time walk it.
Right.
You're going to be having a bad time. Basically any hero that just kind of does that DOT.
Okay.
And if you're up against, like, let's say they pick Huskar off lane or something, or even Necrophos, would you really want to pick Void, or would you want to pick someone that counters the offlaner and have a better lane?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you would want to approach it. Like, I'm not super knowledgeable about Void, so that's why I'm a little, I sound a little bit uncertain about what I'm saying when it comes to the matchups. But I can tell you that, first off, damage over time is bad against him. Roots are good against him. I meant to say good against him. Did I say bad against him? Because he can't time walk. So let me ask you a question. If the enemy team had a root, what would you do to handle that? How would you play around it?
If I still had to pick Void?
Yeah, let's say you picked Void and then they pick Naga after.
Okay. Just go in the lane that you don't think they'll be in?
Well, Naga's gonna roam. She's gonna follow you everywhere. I'm just saying, like, not like a lane thing, but like, what would you do?
Carry a TP?
Mm,
TP out?
can you TP when you're rooted? I'm not sure. Maybe, but that's one thing. But the answer is actually, and I'm not trying to like put you on the spot or anything. I'm just trying to like, get you involved in like the thought process. You'd get a Manta.
Okay.
Because when you're rooted, you use Manta, you're out of the root, just like that.
Okay.
Does
Didn't know
Yeah, Manta purges debuffs.
Oh.
So if you're silenced, Manta. if you're rooted
Oh, wow.
Manta. Yep, it's pretty good. That's why a lot of heroes buy it.
Dang, yeah. Didn't
The
realize
more
that.
you know. Do, do,
Yep.
do, do. So yeah, that's how you'd handle that. Obviously you don't want to pick Void into roots, especially not Lone Druid. He is if I was playing Lone Druid against the Void, I'm pretty sure I would dumpster him.
Okay.
But but that honestly might just be the Void sucking, because I feel like there's a way for Void to just ignore the Lone Druid. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. But anyway, let me give you a better example. How about that? I can give you a better example. Let's say there's like an example I actually understand. Let's say there's a Life Stealer versus a Bat Rider. Who is favorable in that matchup?
A life stealer?
Yes, that's good. Most people say Bat Rider, so I'm glad you said Life Stealer. So why do you think that is?
He's got the magic immunity,
Yep, that's one of them.
and he hits hard. And
The-
that's slow.
That's true. Yeah, the slow. The open wounds is the big one. What does Bat Rider do against open wounds? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they pick a Bat Rider, who are you gonna pick?
Life stealer?
Yep. See, it's simple, but it's also not, because you have to understand a lot of matchups. It's super hard to implement, but it's a very simple concept.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of how you have to approach it. And if you don't know, if you have no idea, like, oh God, who counters Legion offlane? Who counters Legion? I have no idea. Then you just, well, there's a couple things you can do. First of all, you can guess and just see how it goes, so you learn. The other thing is you just go on Dota Buff. Here, I'll even show you. Like, you just go. This is just a simple thing. Like, you go, oh, I'm sharing my screens. I'm so stupid. Just put it on the screen. Okay, there we go. So you just go on Dota Buff, you go to the hero page, and you can just go right here, right to this page. Legion Commander is countered by Oracle, Winter Wyvern, Medusa, Dazzle, Templar. Now, obviously, this isn't 100% accurate, but there's a reason it's like this. So what you just want to do is you want to look at the heroes and think, why does these heroes counter Legion? So, for example, why does Winter Wyvern counter Legion Commander?
I'm not super familiar with Wyvern's
Okay, are there any heroes that... What about... Are you familiar with any of these heroes' spells?
Yeah. Oh, all of them except for, like, Oracle is a little foreign to me. And
Okay. And Wyvern?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Wyvern's got that, like, spell that makes his teammates attack themselves.
Yeah.
And that little ice thing that heals them. That ice block thing that heals them.
Mm-hmm. So, I'll just... First, let me ask you, are you familiar with Dazzle?
Yeah.
Okay, why does Dazzle counter Legion?
'Cause of that, you can't get the kill with that,
Yep.
what's that, whatever that's called.
The
Grave,
Death
Shallow
Grave, Shallow Grave, yeah. Yep, that's why. So, why does Medusa counter Legion?
She just ults, or no, you can't
Mm-mm.
ult while you're dual.
No. It's a pretty simple... Like, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just saying, like, it's super simple. She's just tanky.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
literally it.
got that
She's
range,
she's just like the tankiest hero.
Okay.
And I'll ask one more. Why does Templar counter? Are you familiar with Templar?
Not really. She goes in biz.
Okay, I'll just tell you then.
Goes in, like-
I'll just tell you all these then. Okay, so Templar, the reason why Templar counters Legion is because of this ability right here.
Okay.
Do you know what that does?
It's like, what is it, an evasion or something?
Okay, so it gives her a shield that
Oh.
blocks damage instances.
Okay.
So it blocks 6 hits from Legion. That's a lot, right? That's basically as many as she gets off in a duel.
Uh-huh.
If she just always has this on, because it has a 17-second duration, 17-second cooldown, so she's always going to have it on.
Oh, I see.
So that's why. And then Winter Wyvern, it's the E. because when they're E'd in the Cold Embrace, you know, the thing that heals them, like you said, they can't take physical damage.
Oh, okay.
And then Oracle, it's the ult. Or honestly, Oracle's like there's so many ways that,
Delay.
huh?
It's like a damage delay, right?
Yeah, it's a damage delay and it's a healing amp, so he can keep the person alive. But honestly, he can also just disarm the Legion. Like this is actually probably the biggest counter to Legion because of that, but not a great hero right now. But anyway, yeah, that's that.
Cool.
That's why.
That's called Dota buff on that
Dota
site?
buff. Wait, you've never heard of Dota buff?
No.
Oh, jeez.
I'm fairly like new to Dota 2.
Oh, really? When?
I
How
mean,
long have you been playing?
I haven't like started playing seriously until these like past few months. But I mean, I've had an
okay.
account since it was out because I used to play Dota 1.
Oh, really? Okay, so you played like really casually for a while then, and then you started playing
Yeah.
pretty seriously
I was
recently.
playing- Yeah, I was playing like WoW and other
Okay.
games. So.
Okay. All right, I see. That explains why you don't know what Dota
Okay.
buff is.
Yeah.
I will send you a link to Dota buff real quick. Here you go. I would make an account. It's nice to track your progress on it, and you can track the meta on it. Here's another site I want you to take a look at. Dota Mastery. So what this is you just, what hero do you want to do? Like, what is there any heroes you're unsure about, an item or a lane or a ability or anything? Just give me a random hero if not.
Sure, like Timbersaw.
Okay. Just type in Timbersaw. Click the lane, off lane. And then you just click right here. Click on the Dota buff button, and then it gives you the match. So you see what he bought. So there's two. First of all, you can just look here, or you could copy and paste this match ID into your Dota and watch the entire game. Yeah, you just watch the whole game, and you can watch it from his perspective. So, oh, what? I didn't copy it, but yeah, you get the idea. So, for example, he got a Hood of Defiance. So, why do you think he got that? Is that a normal
Yeah.
timber item? Like, do you usually get a Hood of Defiance?
I wouldn't think so. Maybe
Right.
it's
So,
got a keeper and the Skyrod.
exactly. Yeah.
Very-
I mean, that's why. That's exactly it. They just have magic damage. I mean, these are hard counters to Timbersaw. He has to deal with it somehow. Same with the Yules. That's probably why I got it as well. Just to deal with the silence and the like. This is not a good timber game. Long story short. So yeah, you can look at that. You can look at how he leveled up. You can do that with every hero. You can notice patterns. Yeah, it is. It's super helpful.
These
this
are
guy
all,
got a
like,
pipe.
Pro players.
Not pros, but very high MR. 6K and above. See, 6K, 6.6, 6.8. All super high, super duper high MR games.
Yeah.
Like Divine 5, I think is what that would be. The highest.
So, like, for you, like, when you just started playing this game, what did you feel like was the most helpful as far as making, like, progress?
For me, just playing. First of all, I played a lot. And the other thing was, yeah, just watching people that were better than me. That was the main thing for me. I'm a very visual learner.
Okay.
And for me, it was just watching people that were better than me. I didn't do this back then because I didn't know about it, but I would definitely do that. If I knew about it, I would have done it. But what I just did is I just watched YouTube. And right now, I'm even I was just watching this video. I was watching all these videos. That's what I do to get better a lot.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Cool.
So you have only really been playing for the past few months, huh? Like hardcore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
So.
You've been
yeah,
winning a lot.
It's just. Yeah, it's just tough, you know, like all those things you said, like. It's. I know they would help my play, but it's like the rest of my team's not going to be doing any of that.
That's okay. As long as you're doing it, I guarantee you it's gonna boost you up.
Okay.
Every single player runs into that problem, and every single player has the capability of gaining MMR. Like, if you look at it this way, that the enemy team has the same amount of retardation, then I think it makes it all make sense.
Yeah.
If you're just that one guy that's good enough to make it
Right.
better, that's all it takes. And you saw, like I told you, like I showed you, it's not just your team. You were out of position and your team followed you, and that was kind of
Right.
the, like, it was honestly your fault that, like, that whole thing about you guys not being top was your fault
Okay.
because you were bottom.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, there's, like, I know it's easy to blame your team, and it seems like it's hard because they're holding you back and it's making it hard to win. But, like, there's so much you could be doing to just, like, let me
Right,
tell
make
you,
yourself better, yeah.
right, and let me tell you something that'll make you really understand, like, why you just can't blame your team. Like, if a 6K player, even if I got a hold of your account, I'd go on a 20 win streak. Like, I'm not even kidding. If a 6K player got a hold of my account, he'd go on a 20 win streak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's happened.
Yeah.
That's why that's not Smurfs. That's why boosters exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do that. They're like 5K players, and they just go on these 1K accounts, and they just win.
Right.
Because they're better.
Yeah.
Like, they're better players.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, smart enough to know that it's like, it's not just my team.
Yeah, I know. And it's totally, like, understandable that you'd be concerned about that. Everybody, you know, it's very easy to think that way. Everybody I think a lot, like, most 99% of Dota players think that way. Even, honestly, I'd say 100% of Dota players think that way at some point. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about discipline, and just, if someone on your team does something really stupid, just forget about it. It doesn't really help you to flame them. It just focus on what you could do. If you're losing doing the right thing, that's better than winning doing something stupid and continuing a bad habit.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're out of time. Don't worry about it going over an hour. I did that on it's not like you took up my time. I was totally fine with that.
Okay. Well, dude, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you, like, taking your time to give me those tips. Hopefully I can
No problem.
try.
I learned from it
develop
too.
those skills.
Yeah. Hey, and if you could just recommend me to any of your friends, that would really help me out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck.
Thanks,
Good
man.
luck
Enjoy
gaining
the
that
rest of your night.
MMR. Yeah, you too.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated.
All right, cool.
All right.
See ya.
See you, man.